Alright, so the NBA's been back for a couple of days now, post All-Star break. We had a couple of crazy games today. For example, the Spurs, Wizards, a couple of overtimes, and they combined for over 300 points. Cool stuff. We love offense. But now we're going to talk about the power rankings, our top 10 teams. This is going to be based off conference because I know in the Eastern Conference there's like a 3-4-way tie between second place. There's only a couple games back between them and first. So I think power rankings would be the best to determine the best teams in the league. And obviously the Lakers aren't on there. Lakers, they're trash. The same thing they did in typical games. They go down by 15, 16 some odd points. They make a late push. And after making said late push, they fall short because they just can't execute down the stretch, or they make bonehead decisions like Melo's deep three that he could have easily swung out to THT. Reggie Jackson comes up to contest, and he can swing it out to Russell Westbrook in a dunker spot because Reggie Jackson was in no man's land. But hey, that's the team for you. Terrible execution down the stretch. But let's talk about actual good teams and actual good basketball. So we're coming in at number 10. We have the Denver Nuggets. Yes, they're missing Jamal Murray still. Michael Porter Jr. has been sidelined indefinitely due to having another back injury. But we have Nikola Jokic, an MVP, and he's just so good. I mean, Denver's a top 10 team. And then at number 9, you got Chicago. DeMar DeRozan has been on the tear lately. Again, this team has also been dealing with injuries. I know Zach LaVine's getting back into the fray of things recently. But they're still missing Caruso. They're still missing Lonzo Ball, who are their best perimeter defenders. But DeMar DeRozan's just been carrying them by scoring a bunch of points. A 7-game stretch of 35 points or more, shooting 50% from the field. Something that Wilt hasn't done. Yeah, that's the 9th best team in the league. The Utah Jazz at number 8. They are going to shoot a bunch of threes. They're going to make a bunch of threes. And while they have terrible perimeter defenders, they just rely on funneling everything to Rudy Gobert. They're still a good team. They're still a great team from the perimeter. And when you're able to make that many threes, you're always a consistent threat to win games. Lucky number 7 is the Boston Celtics. They've been on a great stretch. They've been 10-1 in their last 11 games. They have the best defense in that stretch. They've really turned around in these last month or so, and they've been playing great basketball. You got Jaylen Brown, you got Jason Tatum. They've also made a great trade acquiring Derek White from the Spurs. They're simply just a good team. I really don't have much to say about them. And same thing goes for Miami. They're just the first seed in the East, so they got to make it on the list due to being the first seed in the East. Winning all those games in home court advantage. But you got a great team of Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry. You got shooters like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, even Gabe Vincent. Miami is not the most dangerous team out there or the most talent-loaded team, but they're still a high-quality team nonetheless. The first team cracking our top 5 for the power rankings are the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, this is one of the few teams that actually got right when it came to preseason predictions. I had them making the jump as a 4th or 5th seed, but they've even passed my expectations by jumping up to a 3rd seed. Only 2 to 3 games behind the Warriors. Plus, they're just a fun young team to watch. They also got a really nice roster from top down. Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., John Moran, of course, Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks. Even though he hasn't played in a while, but I believe he'll be getting ready to ramp up for the Memphis Grizzlies before the playoffs starts. So, high quality team. They're fun to watch. Looking forward to seeing them in the playoffs. Number 4 is the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden and Joel Embiid played their first game tonight together. They combined for 61 points and 16 free throws. So, looks like they're doing their thing already. I know it wasn't against the best team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, coming off a back-to-back. But James Harden looked good. We'll see how they, hold up in these next couple of games. They start playing, a bit more high-quality teams. But they look good. They got someone that can replace Ben Simmons, and not that, James Harden's going to do everything that Ben Simmons could do when it came to playing defense. But him just being out there is, better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And speaking of Ben Simmons, and a notable admission from his power ranking, you have the Brooklyn Nets. Now, why aren't they on there? Because one, Kevin Durant's injury, he should be coming back next couple of weeks, but they are in a hole when it comes to seedings. And number 2 is Kyrie Irving, and I know there's been some rumors about the vaccine mandate being lifted, which is fine. The thing is, I am not going to care about that when it comes to power rankings until, it's actually lifted. Kyrie can actually play in these home games. Because until then, I just don't give a damn about the Brooklyn Nets. Like, they are an idea. They're a theory. They're just like my Lakers. Oh, this should work on paper. But you know, in reality, Kyrie is missing half the games because of the decision not to get vaccinated and the New York mandate. And Ben Simmons hasn't played yet. And of course, Kevin Durant being injured and you know, losing 10 games in a row while he was injured. So I don't care about the Brooklyn Nets until that vaccine mandate is either lifted and Kevin Durant's back on the court. They're not worth caring about when it comes to power rankings. And like they're like what, the 8th or 9th seed too? It doesn't matter. Finally, let's get into our top 3 teams that have the best chance for winning the championship. And I honestly think one of these 3 teams will be the champions. And number 3 is the Golden State Warriors. You got Steph Curry, you got Klay Thompson, you got Draymond, you got Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins. I mean, you just got a great roster all around, even though you can be weak at big. And with Draymond being sidelined, they can, you know, slide a couple of games here and there. But I honestly think they'll be fine. But it's the Warriors, a great team, championship pedigree. Klay Thompson only going to get better when it comes to his games. Now, he's not going to have the elite defense he did back in 2018 and whatnot because of the injury. But he's going to get better. He's getting a lot more confidence. And, you know, you got guys like Andrew Wiggins, you know, step up on defense for him compared to back then. So the Warriors, just great team. I know Steph Curry hasn't been shooting the best because of his slump. Maybe he's starting to break out of it. I don't know. But the Warriors are still a great team nonetheless. Number 2, your defending champions, the Milwaukee Bucks. They have the best player in the league, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he could win an MVP. But it's probably gonna go Joel Embiid because of voter fatigue and all that jazz, which is fine. But it's, you know, it's Milwaukee. They got championship pedigree. I gotta give them that proper credit and respect because they are the defending champs. And having Giannis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, you know, that's a pretty good trio, and they've been really good with that squad all year. And number 1 is the Phoenix Suns. This is by far the best team in basketball. Really like their defense, really like their roster all around. Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, even though I can't stand Jay Crowder, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. You got great role players like Cameron Johnson, JaVale McGee, even Bismack Biyombo. That's just a good team again, top to bottom. They can shoot the 3 well, they can defend the perimeter. They got guys that can bang down low. Well, not bang down low, but that can defend down low. I believe Chris Paul's leadership is overrated, but he is a great leader. He's a great point guard. He is going to miss a couple of weeks with a thumb injury, but being that their schedule lightens up, I believe they'll be fine. They'll maintain their first seed. And without the way, those are my power rankings. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe, and I'm out.